Hey, today I tested all anti-tank stratagems on the new Leviathan enemy, and all I can say is its health is disgusting in a good way. Whoever at Arrowhead designed it and gave it that health must be evil. Anyways, if you could show some love by hitting the like button, I'd greatly appreciate it, and let's jump right in. Alright, Helldivers, I'm going to keep this short and sweet, aiming for an 8-minute video. With that said, the first stratagem I tested was the Commando. It's not one I'd recommend using. The reason is that it takes about 14 rockets from the Commando to destroy the Leviathan. That's absolutely nuts. It's by far the worst weapon to use on this new aircraft enemy, though it's debatable, as you'll see soon. Some other stratagems might be even worse to use. I'll leave it up to you, Helldivers, to let me know which stratagems are good and which ones you think are bad from my testing. Next up, we've got the anti-tank emplacement. This took a total of 13 shots, and you can actually aim anywhere from the front to the middle and even the back. At least from my testing, I didn't notice a difference, so that's exactly what I did here, and also I kind of sped up this clip a little bit. But you're going to see that I'm going to aim for the front portion and just start nailing out the rest of the hits, which are a total of 13 hits to the front, and there she goes. And yeah, it's crazy. Continuing forward, we've got the Quasar Cannon. So right here, this is the first shot, right to the front. We're going to pick up another Quasar Cannon. So basically what I did here was switch in between Quasars so that, the cooldown just is refreshed quickly. I can grab a new cannon each time, and that's pretty much what I did here. And yes, each time I did receive a hit marker, except for the second to last shot. But the final shot, for sure, was enough to put this Leviathan down for good. Now, the total shots was anywhere from 7 to 8. The last one, or the second to last shot, was kind of hard to determine because I did receive a hit marker. However, I feel like it's best if you just aim directly for the front. So it can be anywhere from 7 to 8. Regardless, I wouldn't suggest using the Quasar Cannon either. It's practically useless. You're better off using something else, like the anti-emplacement. That's probably your best option here. So we're now going to check out the Expendable, aka Eats, and we've got a total of 8 to 9 shots here. Now, I'm counting the 9th shot because I believe somewhere in between these shots here, I actually aimed for the side. So a total of 8 shots might be it. However, I have noticed you can actually hit the sides and it'll count for some reason. At least it did with the anti-emplacement. And yeah, overall, this is not too bad. But again, it's going to require you to have a lot of eats nearby in order to blow up the Leviathan, which isn't the best in general, to be honest. Moving along, we're going to see how well the W.A.S.P launcher does. Speaking of which, I actually love the W.A.S.P Stratagem. It's perfect for decimating flesh mobs. However, that's not the case when it comes down to the Leviathan. It took a total of 10 magazines to bring down the spaceship. And I've got to say, most of the ammo hit the top and sides. To be fair, it's quite difficult to determine where the rockets are heading, considering there's no way to lock onto a specific part. That's why in this clip, you're going to see that happen quite often. Of course, you can go directly underneath, but you're taking a big risk doing so because the lasers are deadly. They can one-shot you. Even if you do go underneath, there's a chance you won't hit the vulnerable spot anyways. Also, if you're wondering why I said magazine instead of rockets, it's just to keep things simple, since the bottom left shows a magazine icon. Yeah, it's just to make it clear how many shots you're firing overall. Another thing I'd like to say is, earlier I said the Commando was the worst. I take it back. It's actually the W.A.S.P Stratagem. You'll waste more ammo and most of your shots won't even hit the spot you need to target. For instance, you saw right there, I was so close to hitting the critical spot or the vulnerable spot, but overall, it's so difficult to actually aim for the weak spot, and I think this one might take the cake in terms of how bad it is to use on the Leviathan. For other enemy types, like Overseers, Flesh Mobs, perfect. Leviathan, it's a no-go. On a related note about not using certain stratagems, don't even bother using the Orbital Laser. It's completely worthless, not worth it at all, and you're better off using something like a support weapon or even the Exosuit, which we'll get into right now. Let's talk about it. What you'll see in this clip, I started off with 42 rockets on both sides, and I just started wailing on this Leviathan, and ended up with just 1 ammo on each side. And on top of that, what's cool about this clip right here, that Leviathan landed perfectly on top of the building. Such a perfect kill. So far, it's looking like the Exosuit Emancipator isn't bad, neither is the anti-tank emplacement, but the spear right here is just trash for the good old Leviathan. It's just not worth using. Honestly, you'll waste all of your ammo, and then you'll probably have to go back and get more, and at that point, you know, the Leviathan's probably going to just disappear or do its own thing. It's absolutely not worth bringing to the table. Don't even bother with it. You're better off using different stratagems like the ones I've mentioned previously. Not to mention, there's another stratagem you should absolutely not waste your time on, and that's this one right here, which is the Railgun. Sure, you can fire in unsafe mode, yet it's not going to save you or help you at all in any situation with a Leviathan. In other scenarios, like the automatons, sure, you know, but for the Leviathan, not worth it. And you're going to see right here, I'm going to waste a ton of ammo, and at some point, I actually end up just cutting the clip because, well, why would I show you me just using all of the ammo and not getting any outcomes? Alrighty, what about the Recoilless Rifle? Is it good or is it bad? And I'll tell you right off the bat, it's amazing. It does the job. It's been the king of everything when it comes down to taking down the Illuminate, such as flesh mobs and the Harvesters, Chargers, Hulks, I mean, you name it. It can take down pretty much every large faction type, and it's no different here. The Leviathan can be taken down with just 6 shells. That's it. Now, sure, you're going to be using a lot of shells, a total of 6, like I just mentioned, but you know it's the best one on the list. It outbeats all the other stratagems. If you take a look at the other ones, we know Commando took 14, we know the Eats took about, what, 9? So this one is definitely the best option when it comes down to taking down the Leviathan. By far the best, and I think you guys are actually going to love using this one if you haven't already. So before we move on and talk about the last and final stratagem, which is of course going to be the 500 kg bomb, I just want to show the proof there the Leviathan went down. Okay, let's talk about the 500 kg bomb. Is it good or bad? It's actually not good at all, and I have 2 clips that'll show it going right through the Leviathan. It doesn't even hit it, and I'm not too sure what's going on here. Anyhow, with all the anti-tank stratagems tested, which ones do I suggest you use? I'm sure it's obvious, but I recommend the Recoilless Rifle. It can take out a Leviathan with just 6 shots, and also helps defeat flesh mobs and Harvesters if you aim directly at the Harvester's top shoulders, where the leg connects to the head. The second stratagem I recommend is the Exosuit. The only problem is that sometimes the Leviathan will target your mech for no reason. I've had it happen several times, and it's not fun. Probably because it's just a big, blocky piece of metal. Lastly, the anti-tank emplacement isn't a bad option either, but since you're not able to move around with it, you're going to be vulnerable. Those are pretty much my top picks. What are your thoughts about the testing? Which stratagems do you like the most? And which one was the worst on the list? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and on that note about comments, there's not going to be any top comments in this video. That'll be in the next one tomorrow. I'll feature any comments in this one and the previous one. Also, let me know how you felt about the video, and if you thought it was great or just awesome by any means, consider tapping the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'd greatly appreciate it. As always, I appreciate everyone that stops by. It means a lot to me. And yeah, thank you to everyone. If you can, check out my Discord, check out my subreddit, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.